Hi everyone, do you work full-time while living in your RV and you're looking for a viable workstation that doesn't cause chaos and is something that's not permanent? If so, this is the video for you. Stick around. You'll notice today that I am sans carry once again. This is a small series that we're showing basically certain improvements, certain things that we've had to do about the RV. One of our latest videos, everybody had asked to see more of this particular setup. I work full-time on the road in our RV, and one of the things that had come up when we looked at different RVs and stuff of that nature is how could I have a full-on workstation that, one, I can sit comfortably for 8 to 10 hours a day, and this is for my full-time job, not editing YouTube videos, but how I can get that done, how we can also utilize the space for its intended function, which is a dinette. And also something that is workable for someone of my height and someone of Carrie's height. And I say this as I'm 6'2" and Carrie's about 5'3", 5'4" in a good day. So there was a lot of little things that we had to play with here. And so we're taking the dinette of the 22 MLE, and this is the 2023 edition. And I'm going to walk you through what basically my ideal workstation is in its latest form. Now, we've been on the road full-time for about the past month and a half. I do believe this setup is going to be my final setup, maybe with one or two more essential tweaks. For internet, I'm going to start right off with the bat. Internet, we use Starlink, which has been fantastic for us. We also have a T-Mobile hotspot, and we have Verizon off our cell phones. Between those three, we've never had to use any kind of park access or anywhere else. We've always had some kind of coverage, and it's always been well enough that I can communicate through the VPN for work, which has been great. Starlink, we have, if you've seen in the other video, we have on a flagpole mount, and we keep the router in the storage compartment. The T-Mobile hotspot lives in this entertainment center above the dinette, and then our phones, well, we just have those with us at all times. I do spend an abundant amount of money on internet coverage, but it's essential for my job, and for me, it's well worth it. Plus, with all the extra internet, we don't have to worry about things like cable or satellite television or anything like that, because we can just stream everything, and we can stream movies galore because we always have enough data. So that being said, the standard dinette, the first thing we did here was we took out the original foam cushions. Not really much to show here. The original foam we took out. We ordered some high density memory foam at the same thickness, but it gives a little more of a firm cushion, and that does pretty well. As you can see, I don't sink so much. We did have to raise this table up about a good inch just because of my height. I'll show you how we did that in just a moment. But the main core of everything that I do is this monitor from LG. It's a 32-inch curved monitor. As I bring this out slowly, this monitor allows me not only to be able to take this at pretty much every angle here, but I'm able to, with this mount, bring it in closer and further back. The only thing I have right now is my camera for video conference calls. It's on a shorter cord, so I do need to lengthen that at some point, but it pretty much serves its purpose however we want it. I have a light bar for the mornings when I wake up prior to Carrie. This here is a lifesaver, and I have to turn on all the overhead lighting and everything like that. And the best part about this style monitor and this stand that comes with it is that when I'm done for the day and work is done, work is done. This is out of the way. Carrie and I can sit down, we can enjoy our dinner and have our meal, and it's great. Now, for those of you who are asking, well, gee, Bob, that's great, but I also want to do some work computing and some home computing, and where's all your computers? And that's where it's going to get a little tricky to show, but if you can come up here with me for just a second, Carrie. Underneath this dinette, I have two laptops. One's my work issue laptop and one's my personal laptop. I have these mounted to the wall in what they call laptop retainer clips, and they hold both of those as well as some peripherals. I have USB hubs underneath as well. That kind of keeps everything tied up. The monitor itself has a built-in KVM switch which is fantastic. So I can jump from one monitor, from one computer to the other without having to change out a monitor. It's all right there. So if you bear with me, I'm going to try to get this, show you underneath. I'm going to break out, I have a nice little handy dandy power port that has a rather large bright light here, so we can light this dinette up underneath. And Carrie, if you come down here, you see the bottom laptop is my personal laptop. That's my Acer. The one above it is my Dell, which is company issued. Up in this cradle, I do have a bird's nest of wires, which I'm in the process of taming, but they're held together in a metal cage, along with some cable ties with some D-rings to keep that kind of control as we're going down the road. Behind that, you'll see I have two USB hubs here. One's a media card reader, so I can edit video, and the other is just a 4-port USB hub. Now, this table is fully extended. You'll see underneath how I raised this. There's about 1.5 inch in what they call a table round. We picked this up at Home Depot for about $13, and all we did was simply unscrew the base, put this in, and put the base back on, and that was able to raise that up enough so that I can get in and out of there without a problem. So far, the systems work great. You have to excuse any dust here. We are in the Myrtle Beach area this week, so sand has become an issue. You come up here.
I got you.
Sand has become an issue, so it's just hard to keep track of. So now you say, okay, that's great and all, and we're looking at this and we're going, I have my Alexa, which gives me my reminders in the mornings from everything to take vitamins and everything like that. I do have a workstation pad, and then I also have you can tell I've been editing video. I also have my wireless keyboard and mouse from Logitech, which has been great. And then I also have somewhere in here, trying to keep everything together, and I also have a wrist pad. And what this allows me to do is, as I have all the functionality that I need for working, and I'm able to fly through things all day long without a problem. This is probably one of the best keyboards that I've used. Battery life is fantastic. And I'll try to link some of this stuff below. We're not Amazon affiliates at this point, so the links will be there for product information. But if you have questions, you can always reach out to us at 25pluslife@gmail.com. You can also reach out to Carrie at 25pluslife on Instagram, and we'll kind of help you out any way we can. One thing I did find after about 3 or 4 weeks of sitting like this is that this is great. I can open up the shade here, and I can look outside, and wherever our scenery is today, it's a bunch of RVs. Tomorrow could be the beach, it could be a farm, it could be wherever we're at. But one thing I noticed is that after a while, even with the new foam, this was starting to do damage on my back. Now, I have a solution for that as well, because we've been well thought out. So I'm going to give you about 2 seconds. I'm going to tell you to meet me right back here at this dinette. I'm going to show you my ultimate revision for this setup. Okay, in real time, this took me all of 20 seconds to put this back to the way I have it set up now. And I'm going to tell you that behind me is a mess because we are packing for Florida to take off for a little Christmas break here. But I do want to show you what I've come up with as far as my final solution. Gary, if we could pan over and unveil what I think is the ultimate setup now, it's just very simply a gaming chair. This is, I forgot the brand that this was, but this is from Costco. My son said it's probably one of the better gaming chairs out there. So I take his word for it because he knows his games. This was about $179 at Costco. It has a built-in lumbar plate here. And let me tell you something. The difference between having a chair and sitting on those benches is night and day. And when I talk to everybody online and in the forums and everything else, everybody says, oh, rip out the dinette and you can do this, you can put a desk in. Not one person recommended just putting a chair right at the end of the table. It's as simple as that. When we're done, this still moves. I still have all the functionality here that I needed. Everything is good. Now I'm at the end of the table. I can still see out the window. I can see all the RVs out there in the lot. Everything is good right here. And so I'm still part of all the conversation that goes on, whether it's behind me, in front of me, in the kitchen, you know, wherever. Someone's yelling from the bathroom, hey, I need help. I've fallen, I can't get up. I'm still here, right? Without being just sectioned off. Whereas over here, if Carrie's in the kitchen, she's behind me, and I can't really hear her, and stuff of that nature. So the best part is when I'm done at the end of the day, I simply move up, I pop down my camera, because again of that short cable. I take this, I turn it in, I block off the window, but at the same time my work day ends roughly at 4 or 5 o'clock. I'm not going to be sitting here looking out the window. I got things to do, so that's fine. I'll normally put this away, but the chair just tucks in, and then if you can, from here to the TV, nothing's ever obstructed. It's all perfectly taken care of. And then when it comes time for Carrie and I to eat, we simply either roll the chair out of the way, or we just move it aside and we jump in, just like if we had a table at home. And that's it. That's as simple as it gets. And I think that's probably, as far as cost effectiveness, the gear, most of the gear I had, sans the clips cost me about $20 a pair. The monitor and stuff I had from the home before we sold that. The chair is about $200, but you can get any office chair would do this job. And the best part is, come resale time, or whichever you look at, none of this is taken away from. And I think that's where the big thing is that we haven't lost anything as far as saleable value or equity in the RV. So that's it. If you have any more questions or want to know any more about what Carrie and I do since selling our house and moving full-time into our RV, just reach out to us and let us know. Until then, we will see you next week at Sunday at 8 a.m. with a new video.